So Army Painter's coming out with a brand new paint line, revamping their entire acrylics range. All brand new colors in these cool new formats with their flexible triads. They've redone the washes. They've added washes. They've got new metallics with fancy new aluminum flakes instead of the mica flakes. You get a better shine. But what does this mean to you, the consumer? The person who's sitting there going, what do I need to have on my desk here? And there's a lot of people talking about them, including myself, saying that these are possibly the best paints that are going to be out there. They're the best paints I've ever used. I will tell you that much. But the question is, what do you need to do with this whole new paint range? What do you need to do to figure out what it is that you want? Do you need to go out and buy the giant Fanatic complete set with all the paints, including all of the fancy new effects paints and all of the washes and all the metallics? Maybe. I don't know you. Maybe this is what you need. But maybe what you need is just this. The good old starter set. And I'm going to tell you why this might be the one that you want. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Glacial Geek video. I am Phil, the Glacial Geek, and I'm coming to you today to talk about what's coming up with the new Fanatics paints that are coming out from the Army Painter. I have the privilege of having gotten early copies of these. Thank you to the Army Painter for that. They did send them to me for free. I did work with them on when they were in the development stage, like coming up with them, and I feel like I want to kind of give you some idea of what is going to be hitting the market coming up here. They've done a pretty good job of their of videos talking about that on their channel, talking about what to expect, like what's coming out, like how much they're going to be, and I want to be able to kind of give you my thoughts on what you as the consumer should be looking into. So like I said, there is a lot of new paints that are coming out. They're redoing their entire acrylic range, their new stabilizers, their new base. They're putting lots more pigment into them, and these paints are incredible. They really are. I've had hands-on experience with them, and they cover brilliantly. They are smooth. They work really well on a wet palette with just putting onto the wet palette, not really having to water them down. Although I'm sure there are a lot of painters out there that will yell at me for that. I find them pretty easy to work with, just straight out of the bottle onto a wet palette with the usual loosening that'll come with just the wet palette, moistening them and going from there. But to me, they're the best paints I've ever worked with. Like, hands down, the best paints I've ever worked with. I haven't worked with every single paint out there. I know there are a lot of people that are, dead set on a lot of the paints that they work with, and that's fine. And I think at the end of the day, you need to find a paint that you're happy with, that works for what you need it to do, that doesn't hold you back from accomplishing what you want the paint to accomplish, and you're going to want to have it fit within your budget. So if you have an unlimited budget, then the price isn't an issue for you. But for most people, it is. Like, for me, I get it for free, so I'm not really in the market for price looking. But Army Painter is one of the cheaper options that you have out there. And with their new paints, it's not just cheaper in quality. You now have one of the highest quality paints that you're going to have out there for a cheaper price. It's going to be cheaper than a Citadel pot, and you get more of it in the dropper bottle than you will in the pot of Citadel paint. And at the end of the day, the less money you have to spend on paint, the more money you can spend on models, and that's very good for us as hobbyists, and that's what you kind of want to do. But you're probably sitting there, if you're not a brand new to the hobby, you're probably sitting there with a whole bunch of paints on your desk anyway, going, do I need to switch to these? And the answer is, I can't give you that answer. I am very happy that I am going to be switching to them. I think they're going to be able to allow me to push further with my painting, increase the quality. I really want to try in 2024 to up my painting. Not everything. Like, there are still going to be times that I'm just going to want to get models done for a tournament, models done for the tabletop, and go from there. But I feel like I do want to push myself and try some things that are outside of my comfort zone. I've talked about that. And these paints, I think, are going to help me in that process. But do you, as the consumer who's painting, just using the paints, need to go out and buy that huge set, like $750 or something like that, to try to go out and get all of them right away? Not necessarily. maybe if money's not an issue for you and you want to just have them all, then great. It's going to be coming out January, I think, is the pre-order for that, January 15th. And they're going to have the option for that, or the mega set, which is going to be far cheaper than the complete set. You get 50 paints for that one. And that's another one if you're just looking to get a whole bunch of them and want to try it out, and you're pretty sure you want to change over, but you don't want to spend the 750 right away, you can get the mega set and you get to go in and get a whole bunch of them there. But a lot of other people that are not in that kind of situation may just be like, I want to see what the hype is about. I want to see what this is about. I want to see if Phil's just a crazy person, which I may be, and I probably am, but not because of this, in my opinion. See what the hype is coming from the Army Painter, see what they're talking about, and you want to give it a shot. There were some people that were lucky enough to get the ones that were sent out to to customers that opted into different things when they purchased from the Army Painter, and they have the three bottles that came out to give a shot with the new paints and see what they were like. And you can see online what people are talking about with those. You can see people like myself that are talking about the paints that we're using here, and other people with YouTube channels or Instagram pages or anything like that you might be following. And you can hear people talking about it, but at the end of the day, the only true way to find out if it's something that you're going to want to use, is something that you're going to be using, is to give it a shot yourself. Because you have to see what it's like in your painting routine. You got to see what it's like, how you use it. Like I said, I don't like to thin down my paints. So for me, I like a paint that I don't have to thin down. Other people do thin down their paints. Other people do different things with their paints. And you need to find out for yourself if it works the way that you paint. And for me, in my mind, I'm not going to go out and just buy a $750 set of paint if I don't know if it's going to do what I want it to do. Because, I'm giving you my honest opinion and I'm telling you what I feel. But at the end of the day, what I feel and what I think could be completely different than what you think. Because people disagree and people have different experiences and people do things differently, and that's going to change how it is. So for me, I recommend that you try them. At the very least, try them. And you can wait till they come out on the racks, and you can get individual paints if you want to try that. But for me, the best thing that I would recommend is the starter set, because the starter set is designed for people that are just starting. But because it's designed for people that are just starting, the choices that they make in those paints that they have in that set are going to be the basics that you're going to want to have to paint with. So you've got your reds, you've got your yellows, you've got your blues, you've got your greens, you've got your basic metallics, you've got your silver and your gold metallics, you've got your whites and your blacks. And those are going to be the ones that are going to allow you to kind of get a grasp of what this line is going to do. Because all of those paints are paints that we use. Those are colors that we utilize very often. Or maybe not you if you have a very particular color scheme that you're doing. But most of us are going to be using these basically in every project that we do. And you have now the option with the bare basic colors that are going to come with this. You can give it a shot. See if the hype is worth it for you. See if it's something that you want to invest in. And I think it's probably going to be about $40, I think, maybe a little more than that. And you get to try out the 10 paints. It comes with a brush-on primer, too, which is, not a bad throw-in. You got the free brush that comes in, which is also, again, not a bad throw-in. And it's got a model there. So even if you don't want to try the new paints on your models, it's coming with one that you can test on it. So, yes, the starter set, I think, is brilliant for people that are just getting into the hobby. I think it's any of those. They talk about the different starter sets that are coming out. Any starter set is what's brilliant for people getting in the hobby because it gives you a chunk of paints. It gives you something to work with. And in this case, it comes with a model to actually try it on, with a brush that you can try it on before you have to invest in anything else. And if you don't like it, you don't have to. And it's like $40 down the drain, which is, at the end of the day, not an exorbitant amount of money to try something new. But as an experienced painter, this does give you the ability to try out a range without just relying on your choice of one singular color. You get a whole bunch of them that are going to be your mainstays that you're going to be working with, and you can give them a shot, see if they work with your particular, set of skills with the way that you paint, and see if it's something that you want to invest in. And then you can go on and invest in more. Like they have like the Most Wanted set that's going to be coming out. They've got the mega set. They've got the complete set. And those box sets are going to come with a discounted price. I think at the end, they said that the bottles themselves individually are going to be about $4.25, which for, I think it's like 18 milliliters is a pretty decent price for paints. And these now have they said it was like 300 to 700% more pigments in them. So they're very highly pigmented. very vibrant, like deep colors, which is great. They also have the stabilizer, which makes it smooth, so it's not like chunky because of all of those. And it makes them easy to use, in my experience. And that's why I want you to try them as well, to give it a shot, because I love them. I really do. And I think I'm very excited for them. And I mean, I know that's coming across, and I know that I have a working relationship with the Army Painter, but there's a reason that I have a working relationship with the Army Painter. I chose to work with them because I wanted to, not because I had to. I wasn't like strong-armed into it. It's all out of choice. And the reason that I work with them is that I like their products. And the fact that they've come out and they've created this new set of paints, to me is awesome. And I think that it's going to it's bringing higher quality paints at a lower price point, so they're more accessible to people, which is great. So if you want to just up your paint game, but you're not, making a living off of your painting, then this is a good way to do it. And I think that they're going to allow you to kind of stretch your arms and stretch your legs and try new things with your painting that I think is great. And that's why I want you to be able to try it. But I also want you to try it. I don't want you to just take my word for it, because my word and $4.25 will buy you a bottle of paint. But I hope that hearing this and saying what I'm saying will allow you to try to get an idea of what it is that you would be trying. And it's coming with a recommendation that I don't think you're going to be disappointed if you try them. Honestly, I don't think that it's going to be $40 that you're going to be wishing that you had back. I think it's going to be something that you're going to feel excited about. And whether or not you then decide to get a whole range is up to you. Whether or not you just kind of replace the paints that run out as they go along with the new ones, or whether you try some of the new ones, bits and pieces, and mix them into your sets. Most people have a lot of different ones. I happen to have all Army Painter because why wouldn't I? And at the end of the day, I think that is going to be something that's going to come down to you, and it's going to be a choice that you make. But my recommendation would be to this starter set, because it has all the colors that you're going to want to try. It allows you to see what the new paint, the new paints are like. And it gives you a chance to try the new metallics with the fancy aluminum versus mica in them. It's going to allow you to get a grasp as to what is going on with this new line, and see if it's something that you want to invest into, see if it's something that you don't want to invest into, or see if it's something that you want to further explore. I think that the starter set is probably the way to go, because it's going to give you a chance to dip your toe in and try out this new line that I'm very excited for, and I think a lot of other people are very excited for too. So, in conclusion, you probably don't need the giant set right away. You may. And if so, I think that goes up on pre-order January 15th. So does the mega set, which is going to have 50 paints in them. And then in February, the starter set and the most wanted sets are going to come up on pre-order. And then I think the individual racks are going to be coming later after that. So you can buy the individual bottles after that. But that would be my recommendation, is if you're not 100% positive, or if money is an issue for you, if money's not an issue, then whatever, buy the complete set and enjoy them, because I certainly will. So I hope that you can take this and understand. But if money is something that you have a concern about, like 99% of us do, then perhaps you take a step back and get the starter set, so you can get an idea of how these paints are going to do, and get an idea of what the paints are going to be like for your work system, and how you are going to utilize them. Because I'm excited, and I really want you to, because I'm very excited for what they're going to do, what I think they can do for me as a painter, and I'm excited for what I think they can do for you as a painter, and I'm excited to hear what you have to think about it. So that's my recommendation. I think that it's a great option for trying out new things. I think it's a great option for trying out new paints. And I think it's a great option for kind of getting an idea for yourself with your own experience as to whether or not this is the kind of a thing that you want to invest into. So I hope you found that informational. I hope you found that exciting. And I hope that you find these new paints as fun as I certainly have. So I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly have. I have been Phil, the Glacial Geek, as always. And until next time, stay safe and have fun.